Hello fellow leather crafters from across the globe, my name is Serge Volken, also known as Bigfoot, and I welcome you to the first episode of Dyeing and Coloring Leather. I hope you're ready, so let's begin. You seem to be quite in a hurry to dye and color leather. How about getting your paints and colors ready for action first? Yeah, right. Yeah, suppose you're starting, you haven't got any colors yet. Well, you need to buy or order some, right? So, start with small bottles. If they're not to your convenience once you try them out, not that big of a loss. If you like them, they're keepers. And the next bottles you buy will be the big size bottles, and you can use the big ones as refill for the small ones. They're handier to keep around, especially if you got a small shop, right? Besides, spilling a small bottle across your table is a lot less worse than having a tsunami out of a gallon bottle across your whole shop, isn't it? Well, look at what the postman brought. Let's open it and see the toys we get. Okay, bubble wrap, that's a keeper. Bottles, daubers, whole equipment. Now I got a problem with all these different sized bottles. A standard sized bottle would be something that would come in really handy, wouldn't it? Back in my experimenting phase, I just bought a box of squirt bottles to transfer all those products, and I had them right at hand in a neat self-made spinning rack. But now I can rely on the standard sizes provided by my supplier. Well, I still need a little tweaking, adding color labels to the top of my lids. First, I punch out a few letter circles. Those will be my blank labels. Then I put some contact cement on the back of these circles and to the lids. Wait a bit before sticking the labels onto the lid. Once the label blanks are on, and to avoid color contamination, use one-way cotton swabs to color the labels. Now we can put them in a drawer or a box, and each color is easy identifiable. No need to see the labels in front of the bottle, the lid says it all. We can save a lot of space putting the bottles in a drawer. Now they can be put away neatly and are ready to be whipped out onto our work spot whenever and wherever we need them. Instead of using up precious shelf space like I'm showing you here, I can store a lot more in those shoe boxes. That's a neat idea, those little color tags, but once you put them nicely in their box, I got a problem because I got here some leather dye, some dark brown edge coat, dark brown leather stain, dark brown leather colors. Oh, another dark brown oil dye this time. How are you going to do that? Well, no big deal. If you have one of these alphabet sets everybody has and rarely uses, it does solve the problem. I, for example, use a D for dye, O for oil dye or pro dye, E for edge code, S for antique stain. Or you can invent your own secret code for your labels using numbers or zodiac signs or whatever. As to the child-proof lids, I consider him even grown-up proof. Well, health regulations in many countries impose those lids, so it's not really the producer's fault, okay? I opt for flip-top caps, turning my dye bottles into squirt bottles whenever needed. Oh, and another shop hack. To keep my colors clear from contamination, meanwhile each paint bottle has its own equipment too. Simply find some small medicine bottles and tape them to your dye bottle with transparent scotch tape. This way you have a little place to store accessories in each bottle, in my case a drinking straw, a dauber and a toothbrush. What's that straw for? I'm gonna drink that stuff? And the toothbrush, I wonder what that's for. Well, the straw is the cheapest pipette I could find. I use it to transfer small amounts of dye into my mixing palette. By the way, since I like chocolate, I get those mixing palettes for free. Daubers are used to apply dye to the leather, I guess we all know that. As to the toothbrush, well, let's keep it a secret for the time being. What about safety? Some of these finely ground pigments and solvents are not really meant to be inside your body, so let's just keep them out to be safe. Avoid skin contact, don't smear in your eyes, and don't drink that stuff. Now, with some application techniques, you may avoid direct contacts with your skin by using a dauber, like, or a paintbrush. Yeah, you know what to do not to get your hands dirty. If you got a paintbrush, fine. But if you're working with a piece of lambskin, then you better wear a pair of rubber gloves. Those who are into airbrushing, wear a mask. If you ever blew your nose after an airbrushing session and looked into your hanky, then you probably know why you should wear a mask. I mean, those fine dust particles are suspended in the air and they get everywhere and even down into your lungs. And that's not their place to be. So I guess that wraps it up about getting things ready and neatly organized. And now we should be ready to color and dye. So let's get to it. We may have our colors and dye ready for action, but it's about leather dyeing. And that's a whole chapter to itself. So, if you liked it, click on the little like button below. Don't forget to subscribe and please share it with your friends. Links to the suppliers is below in the description. Thanks for watching and subscribe to stay tuned. Cheers.